roughly a quarter of the weight you'll lose on a diet is muscle, not fat. And that's the part most men accept because they think losing weight and looking leaner are the same thing. And I can tell you they're not. Being lighter isn't your goal. Have you ever woke up and said that I just want to be lighter? You want to look lean and muscular, and you can. For over 10 years, I've been helping men between 30 and 70, some even in their early 80s, lose fat and build muscle. And I can tell you that most approaches fail because they try to get you to lose weight as fast as possible. So you're probably thinking, isn't losing fat and building muscle two separate goals? I see where you're coming from because I used to believe that too. But after looking at the research, and there's a decent amount of it, and helping over 300 men lose fat and build muscle, my answer to that is kind of. If you want to be technical, yes, it is. But we're in 2026. Who on earth is telling you that, well, to not do progressive strength training while losing fat? Hopefully nobody. But if you want to maximize every ounce of muscle growth because you want to compete, you'd look at doing some bulking and cutting cycles. But that still doesn't change the advice because you still need to progressively strength train regardless. And you still need to try and build muscle regardless. And in my experience, even really experienced lifters can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. Usually when they haven't trained properly in a while, maybe they're coming off the back of an injury, or maybe they just lost the consistency. They're not resting enough between sets, or they're not tracking their lifts properly. Now the fact that you're watching this tells me you've likely got some excess fat to lose, otherwise why are you going to want to lose fat and build muscle at the same time? And that actually works in your favor because your body will use your stored fat to fuel the muscle building process. And that continues until you get around 15% body fat, sometimes all the way to 12%, as long as you're pushing your training forward, which we're going to go over. And as a bonus, if you're also new to lifting, this compounds quite a bit more. One of my clients, Hossam, wanted to lose his fat first, then build muscle, because a lot of the gurus tell you you should do that. He didn't have that much time and wanted to spend his time burning the most amount of calories as possible. I get it. So when I told him he could build muscle with just three full body sessions a week, doing 8 to 12 hard sets per muscle group, he was shocked. He looked at me like I was just being way too optimistic, but he thought, I'll try it. Because the training stimulus is what decides whether your body builds muscle, not how many hours you spend in the gym sweating. So we focused on hitting each major muscle group at least twice a week. He'd finish each set 1 to 2 reps short of failure. And he tracked his numbers to make sure he was actually making progress and not just guessing. And honestly, that's pretty much all your body needs. So Hassan went from spending hours doing cardio to 3 focus sessions a week and got better results than anything he had tried before. But during that, we had to avoid the mistake Hassan had been making for years. If he just focused on lifting, sure, he'd build muscle underneath the fat, but he wouldn't lose fat at the same time. And on the flip side, imagine he underate, which a lot of people do. He wouldn't be making progress in a gym. His sleep would be shot and the whole thing would crumble pretty quickly. I've seen this happen hundreds of times. So it might have seemed conservative to Hossam, but we targeted a weight loss of 0.5 to 1% of his body weight per week. But as you can imagine, he wanted to lose closer to 1%, so he could lose around 1 to 2 pounds a week. And after looking at over 1,000 food diaries, I can tell you that most people that are actually actively trying to lose fat, they're eating no way near enough protein to preserve muscle and actually stay full. And Hossam was no different. So we aimed for 1 gram per pound of his goal body weight, which at the time came out at around 180 grams. And remember, it doesn't have to be exactly that number. Hossam also believed what most people believe, that carbs were hiking up his insulin and making him fat, or at least stopping him from losing fat. But he also loved carbs. See the hard part there. But cutting them too low when you're trying to build muscle and lose fat just makes sessions worse. And it makes staying in a deficit so much harder. So we kept them relatively high. But what most people don't understand is carbs reduce stress levels and improve sleep too. So why on earth would you take them out? You're just making it harder from all fronts. And the recomp was successful. As you can see, Hossam lost over 50 pounds of fat while pushing up his strength the entire way through, and clearly built a lot of muscle doing so. Now I want to tell you about sequencing. And this is where most advice you'll hear about this is way too dramatic. You've probably heard that cardio kills your gains if you're doing it anywhere near to lifting, but the truth is obviously more boring than that, like with most things. Look at people actually combining both, and timing barely matters. The same session or different sessions, and the outcome for strength and muscle is basically identical. But what matters far more is the type of cardio, and running seems to be the harshest. And that does make sense. It's harder to recover from because the pounding your legs take. But think of cycling, walking, rowing. That stuff is not very impactful, and it's not really a threat to your lifting at all. You can recover from it quite easily. So don't lose sleep over the physiology of it. But if you're doing both in the same session, lift first anyway, because you'll have more in the tank. You'll be able to put the work into something that actually builds your shape. And you're in a deficit most of this, so your energies are already pretty low. Well, definitely lower than normal. So let's say you decide to do cardio first. Lifting pays the price. And lifting is what's going to help you actually build the muscle, not cardio. And of course, cardio is not the energy. It's just about the priority of things. And if you have extra time to squeeze them in, go for it. Just don't fall for the trap of trying to do everything if it's not something that fits your schedule and something you can keep up until the point you actually do lose your belly fat. Now for the moment you've waited for, we're going to put the pieces together, because here's what it looks like day to day. Training stays hard, and please track your training. The same sets, don't change that because you're in a deficit. The same frequency and progression you just heard. It shouldn't be much more complicated than that, to be honest, but you want to make sure you're eating enough protein so your sessions, don't fall apart halfway through the week. And cardio, if you're going to do it, it stays low impact and secondary. It's there to support the process and certainly not to compete with it. And you can use my free calculator below to plan your deficit and also your timeline too. And then you track a bit differently too. Not just a number on a scale. People obsess over that. I want you to track your waist, track your strength in the gym. Notice whether your clothes are fitting differently, and take photos every few weeks, because that shows you things your body weight never could. Because the scale can drop and you can end up looking worse. And it can barely move, like my client Dan, and you end up looking like a completely different person. What you're actually chasing isn't a lighter number, it's a better body. And by now you know why those things aren't the same thing. But there is a very slight catch. This isn't the fastest way to lose weight. And if speed's all you care about, a harder cut beats it every time, of course. And it's the version that leaves you like you actually wanted to look, rather than just smaller and maybe even the dreaded skinny fat. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to just be a smaller version of themselves. You want to be lean and muscular, and eventually, like Hossam, lose your belly fat, having built muscle along the way. It's way more satisfying. So now you've got the exact protocol, how to eat, how to train, and how to structure it so you're actually losing fat and building muscle at the same time, not trading one for the other. And the part that most guys still get wrong is the food side. They've got the training dialed in, but their meals are all over the place, and that stalls everything. And I've filmed exactly what I eat to stay at 15%, 5 meals on repeat for over 3 years. That video is linked right here. Go watch it, and I'll see you there.